lot as a true freshman. How do you feel now going into your second year?
Feeling good. You know, last year I learned a lot, especially with the guys in the room with Trey, Q. So I learned a lot of things last year, and now this year just looking to get better, improve on the areas I need improvement, and help these young guys come along with me.
I know you came in physically ready last year. How have you changed physically even more so going into this year?
Yes, so I definitely gained weight. I'm like 210, 211 right now. Same height, of course. You know, other than that, just really just improving like footwork and stuff like that. And Coach Mick, he's been doing a great job this winter in developing our bodies and everything as well as our mind as well. So being a student of the game and learning everything we can.
Is that classic for me? Is that like your ideal weight, you think, where you're at right now?
I mean, yeah, I feel it's a good weight. Right now they're keeping me at the same weight. I move really well at that weight, so I don't see changing it.
CJ hasn't been here for as long as you have, but he's a guy who's a veteran running back. What have you learned from him in the short time you guys have been together?
One thing I learned is about him as a person. He's a great guy. You know, he really came in and gelled in well with the rest of the running back room, even when Trey and Q was here. And just an overall good guy, you know. Of course, he did what he did at West Virginia. He's a great back as well, so looking forward to working with him.
James, last year you saw how the tandem worked with Crenshaw and Travion. You think that's kind of the approach you're going to have this year? What do you think about it?
As far as that goes, yes, also ultimately up to Coach Locke, but I do feel like that's kind of
I mean, I think running backs now probably prefer that, right?
Yeah, actually, I would prefer that. You know, your body longevity, and then of course your lifespan in the league as well. So it is a big help. So I do see us doing that again. Yes.
And not tackling yet, so it's hard to know. How do you think your styles will complement each other?
How our styles will complement each other. I mean, of course, the more we practice, we'll figure that out. But I mean, yeah, we'll probably have to wait and figure that out. We'll see. But I can see it's going to work out for our good.
Travion at the NFL Scouting Combine made the comparison with you and J.K. Dobbins. I mean, both being Texas running backs. If you watched his game at all, do you see any similarities between your two running styles?
I did, yes. I grew up watching J.K. I mean, I grew up an Ohio State fan, actually, so I watched him a lot. And there are similarities in our game, but, of course, I am my own back. So I did take some little things from J.K.'s game and implement it into mine. So I could definitely see the similarities, yes.
What are some of those things, those similarities?
Similarities, just how he's a one-cut slasher, but he has a good jump cut. You know, I did play a good amount last year, but, of course, y'all didn't get a chance to see me fully open up. So this year, y'all will see that. But, you know, there's a lot of similarities in our game and just how he moves and, of course, our statistics as well, height, weight. They make all that comparison. But at the end of the day, I am my own back. But that's a good comparison, yeah.
James, what have you seen from Bo so far?
Well, from Bo, I mean, he's a hard worker. He came in here, just kept his head down, just been working. He has good speed, of course, good feet. He a good back and a good dude as well. So, well-rounded guy.
I mean, obviously, 2 NFL running backs go. What can you learn maybe about how to approach the position in more than just an on-field aspect from guys like that? What did you learn from those two?
From Trey and Q, how they approached it was just to approach every day like it's your last day. You know, every day I know, because I talk a lot with Trey, he just picked out one thing he could get better at every day. So taking that and bringing that into this year, one thing I can get better at every day, and then upholding the standard as well in the running back room, it's been great. So that's one thing I did take away.
When did you start to feel comfortable, do you think, in your first season here? When did you start to feel, okay, you know, if they were to ask me to take on a bigger load, I think I can handle that?
I started feeling comfortable definitely fall camp. You know, when you start getting them reps and things started ramping up, I felt confident in myself since I got here. But especially in the system and in how much I learned and knew about the playbook and everything, I really started feeling like fit in right there.
Why'd you grow up in Ohio State fan?
My dad and my mom are actually from Ohio. My dad from Cleveland, my mom from Youngstown, and I just grew up watching Ohio State. My dad would always turn it on Saturday.
So you didn't know the history of Ohio State running backs,
Yeah.
and all this line. What does it mean to you to potentially be the next one?
I mean, it's a great honor. I mean, this is RBU, and it always has been since I was growing up watching them. So to be the next one in line, potentially, you know, I got to work for it, but you know, it's an honor, and I take it humbly. And you know, there's a lot that goes with that. So that's all.
James, who's the first Ohio State running back you watched?
The first one I ever watched.
Do you remember watching?
Do I remember?
Ohio State.
Zeke for sure. Yeah, that's around when I started watching was Zeke era. Yeah.
James, can you describe the intensity that Coach Lockman expects from you guys in all practice? How does he get you guys revved up, et cetera? And is he hard to please?
Is he hard to please? I don't know if y'all saw a little bit today, but he is definitely on us all the time, on 10. But he always says, like, today he encouraged me about my finishing. He said everything else was good, but he's like, you got to finish more. He said, I'm going to make you great. So that just shows that in everybody's game, there's always something you can get better at, always something to improve at. No matter who you are, how highly touted you are, your abilities, there's always something that he's going to nitpick on. He's going to push you to get better at because that's going to bring out the best in you in every situation.
From first meeting him, where are a couple of things that you've gotten better at just from his tutelage? You know what I mean? His guidance.
You said first meeting him?
Yeah, from first getting to know him to now. You know what I mean?
Well, I got to know him my sophomore year.
Yeah.
He came down to a camp in San Antonio, and the same way he is now.
Yeah,
is the
I
same
mean
way.
actually playing under him.
Yeah. Wait, can you ask that question one more time?
Yeah, no, what have you learned? What are a couple of things you've learned that improved your game just from working with him?
One thing I learned is definitely like my tempo, my speed, and then off the field things like just, you know, being the guy I'm supposed to be and being a leader, you know, and pushing myself in every situation I can to be better. He really pushes that aspect of just being better every day because he holds himself to that same standard.
You're obviously in a position this year where you're going to be like a featured part of the offense, whereas last year you were taking your time learning behind Travion and Quinshon. Just how does that hit you? Is there a pressure with that? I guess what is kind of your emotion surrounding, you know, the potential to be a real featured part of the offense this season?
No added pressure at all. You know, I knew that I had to, when Trey and Q were in there, I was like, okay, I just got to learn. You know, so I had to take that patience with it. But no, you know, your time is coming, but you just got to wait. So I've been waiting for this. And, of course, like I said, I still got to work for it. We got great backs in the room. But, you know, just holding myself to that standard every day and pushing myself to be better.
How frustrating was it going in, though, last year? Kind of been trash time, you know what I mean? I mean, mop-up duty, et cetera, and stuff. Like you said, you haven't really gotten to show what you're really all about yet in a game field anyway at Ohio State. How frustrating was that, but how did that help you going into this one?
It's just a maturity thing. You know, you got to mature and you got to know there's like, okay, I got to wait my turn. You know, they were both great backs, and I knew that I got to take what I can from the situation. So that was all. I was just taking what I could from the situation.
Describe yourself as a running back. People have never seen you play. How would you describe yourself?
Well, honestly, I leave that up to y'all to just kind of describe me. You know, I know my game, and of course this season when the season gets started. But I definitely say I'm like a slasher kind of back, but I'm gonna leave that up to y'all to decide.
A lot of Texas recruits seem to flourish at Ohio State. Why do you think Texas football prepares you for Ohio State?
I think Texas got the best ball, some of the best athletes out. So especially in the running back position and positions like that. So I mean, Texas with the coaches and how we prepare, and I know there's not every state, you know, you got all season football all season. So I just feel like the development and the coaching and stuff like that. But I mean, there's great players all around, but I guess there's a trend, you know. Yeah.
You mentioned Bo. How about Turbo Rogers? What have you seen from him from these first couple practices?
Turbo's not here yet.
Oh.
Isaiah West, he's another
yeah.
guy. Yeah, he's recovering and he's paying attention. But Turbo gets here. I think he comes in this Friday. He's gonna be here this Friday.
How about Isaiah then?
Yeah, Isaiah. Yeah, he's been a guy. He's really dialed in. You know, more mature than his age he may be right now because you know. He's healing, he's getting better, and I'm pretty sure he'll be back for fall camp, so we'll really get a chance to see him shine there.
James, thank you.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, thank you.